One of the most powerful ways to demonstrate our sense of global commitment is the Olympic Torch Relay that the Dream for Darfur organization is organizing around the world. Our next guest is the Executive Director of Dream for Darfur. Please welcome Jill Savitt.
Wow, you all look great. Gives me such hope to see all of you here today. We're in need of hope. I was in eastern Chad last month for 10 days and toured refugee camps and camps for internally displaced people and was shocked by what I saw. I really felt like I had traveled to another planet, not only because of how tough the terrain was, the sand and the wind, and it's the rainy season, so the mud, but because it was hard to believe that I share a planet where people are treated like this. So it's wonderful to hear these messages and to see you all here today. I do believe that our movement has momentum right now, and that right now, if we do not stop, if we keep our voices raised, we can make a real difference. There is a peace process. The peace process will start next month, October 27th. There are problems with it for sure, but that's a good move. We have a UN resolution that allows a peace support operation to go into Darfur. It's been approved. We have that. Now is the time to keep pushing. And it's the time to keep pushing, I think, because we have one of the most powerful players that can make a difference in this crisis in a bit of a tough spot. And that is the country China. China has unrivaled influence over the regime in Khartoum. And I don't know if everyone knows why this is so, but China has immense energy needs, and they give Khartoum roughly $1 billion a year in revenue to buy oil. Now, that money is used in part to buy bombs, to buy airplanes, and to fund the Janjaweed militia, the killers that come in on camels and burn down the villages. This is a very good deal for China because Khartoum then takes some of that money, turns around and gives it back to China and buys guns and arms and weapons. And so China is underwriting and profiting from the genocide in Darfur. If all of that were not bad enough, China has also protected Sudan diplomatically right over there at the United Nations for 4 years. Anything that the international community tried to do to alleviate the suffering, to get troops in, to start up a peace process, sanctions, all of it, China would either block it, they'd dilute it, they'd water it down, they prevented it from happening for 4 long years. But China is also the host of next year's Olympics. And it turns out, if there's one thing that China holds more dear than its access to oil, it's the success of next summer's Olympics. So China worked very hard to get the bid for the Olympics. They were very persuasive. But with the benefit of hosting the Olympics, with that privilege comes responsibility. And one of the top responsibilities is that you cannot be underwriting a genocide while you are the host of the Olympics. These are our Olympics too. These are our Olympics too. China is only the custodian of the Olympics for a year. But the Olympics, you know, if you look at our international institutions today, the Olympics are one of the only ones left that represent peace and cooperation and brotherhood and that really work. So these are our Olympics too. And we need to take the spotlight that's going to shine on the Olympics, that's about peace and cooperation, and move that light to the forgotten people of Darfur. So about 4 months ago, when the Darfur advocacy community started to focus on the Olympics, something changed. China started to behave differently. China appointed an envoy. China announced 300 troops would be going to Darfur. China didn't block 1769. It allowed a resolution that would deploy troops to pass unanimously at the UN. So China has changed its tune. It is time to press harder on China. We are organizing an Olympic torch relay from Darfur to Beijing. And we started it already. This torch is going to travel through countries that have experienced genocide, and it is going to link those survivor communities, the survivors from Rwanda, from Armenia, from Bosnia, from Germany, from Auschwitz, Cambodia, and link those survivor communities to make a never again movement that all of you are a part of, to make it real for Darfur and to end genocide for all time. I want to show you the first two segments of our torch relay. If we could watch those videos. My name is Jill Savitt, and I represent the Dream for Darfur organization, which is running the Olympic Dream for Darfur campaign. I'm Mia Farrow, also here with Dream for Darfur. We have a flame. This flame represents, it honors all those who have been lost and all those who still suffer. This flame celebrates the courage of those who survive.
هذا الفيلم يمثل الآن شجاعة الذين يعيشون.
And this flame represents the hope we all share.
وهذا الفيلم يمثل الحلم الذين يعيشون.
For an end to the violence and a safe return home. There was another event in Rwanda with 200 survivors of the Rwandan genocide, people who know what it means when the world looks away, who recommitted themselves to helping on Darfur. We must keep up the pressure. There is a U.S. relay that launched last week here in New York. It's going through 25 states. Go to SaveDarfur.org. Save Darfur and STAND, the campus movement, are organizing this relay. There's now going to be relays in Italy, Canada, and Australia, South Africa, and Sierra Leone. People around the world are joining this movement to put pressure on their own governments and China. I want to ask all of you to do something today when you leave here. If you're feeling moved, if you're feeling motivated, our president, President Bush, has just accepted an invitation to the Olympics. So he's going to go and attend next summer. Just when you get home this evening, log on to the White House website, and you can send an email to the president and ask him to uphold the Olympic spirit now that he's going to the Games by urging China and by leading our own government to play a stronger role to bring security to Darfur. No more words, deeds. We need action. We don't want people to just say that there's a problem, to bemoan the problem, but adequate and verifiable security on the ground now. You can also write to Olympic corporate sponsors and tell them that we don't want the Olympic Games tarnished. We don't want this to be the genocide games, to go down in history as the games that were going on while there was a genocide on our planet, in our world. So I urge all of you, talk to our government, talk to the Olympic corporate sponsors. You can also email olympics.org the International Olympic Committee, tell all of these people these Olympics belong to the planet, they represent peace, and we will not tolerate a genocide going on while the games are going on. Thank you so much.